Hey Kids Creek friends, it is Miss Erin again for video number 2 in our Kids Creek to-go box series. Today's story picks up right where the last one went off, and I decided it was just way too nice to be inside to tell this story, even if we usually tell it around Christmas time, and it feels kind of weird to tell it outside. So you might hear some of the cicadas in the tree above me. That's okay. I'm going to call over my helper again today, Louisa. She's down there playing sidewalk chalk. Lulu. Let's do this. We're going to start just like we did with our memory verse. Lulu's going to show us first, and then Violet's going to show us exactly what that looks like since we're outside. We decided to do something a little bit different. Are you ready? Let's do this. Nope. All right, Lulu, show us how it's done. We wrote it on the ground in sidewalk chalk. All right, Lulu.
Then God looked over all God had made and saw it was very good.
Very good. And that is from Genesis 1. What's the number? Do you remember?
1:31.
Perfect. Violet's turn. Violet, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, let's do this. Violet, I'm going to focus this down on your feet.
Okay.
Notice how she's saying it every time they get this into the square.
Then God looked over all God had made, and God saw it was very good.
Boom! And that is Genesis
1:31.
Perfect. Wasn't that fun? We put some sidewalk chalk in your box so you can do this too, okay? If you want to. Louisa, can you hand me that watering can? I'm going to set that up on the table and lean my camera up against it. Perfect. Yay, look at us. Okay. I'm going to back up a little bit so I can use my hands because that's what I do. So we did our memory verse. I assume you had your snack. And now we're going to tell the story. So last week's story was the story of Jesus being born. And right after that, the shepherds heard about it, and we're going to go find him. This story picks up right after that, okay? Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So Jesus was born in Bethlehem, and King Herod was the king. Remember that part? They had to go to Bethlehem? Mm-hmm. About that same time, there were some wise men, as we call them now. There were some men who arrived from the east. And they came to Jerusalem, which is the city where the king was, right? And they said, hey, where's that newborn king? Where is he? We've come to worship him and give him some gifts. We saw his star rising in the sky. What did they see?
His star rising in the sky.
That's right. So King Herod was deeply disturbed by this. Ooh, he was very upset. And everyone in Jerusalem was feeling very nervous about it too. So Herod asked if he could speak to the men privately. He said, hey, listen, when you go find that baby, I need you to tell me where that baby is. Because I want to go worship him too. I've got gifts to give him too. Do you believe him?
Sounds a little sketchy.
Sounds a little sketchy? Do you agree, Lou?
Yeah.
Yeah. So after this, the wise men went on their way. And the star that they had seen guided them right to where Jesus was in Bethlehem. When they saw the star, they were so excited. It filled them with such joy. So they entered the house and they saw the mother. Who's the mother?
Mary.
Mary. And they saw the child. Who was the child?
Jesus.
Jesus. And they bowed down and they worshiped him. And they opened up their treasure chests and they gave him a bunch of gifts that were perfect for a king. This wasn't a king, this was a baby. Then the wise men went home by another way because God had warned them in a dream not to go back and see Herod. Loud neighbors. After the wise men were gone, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream. He said, hey, Joseph, you gotta get up. You gotta get Mary and the baby out of here. It's not safe. King Herod wants to kill the baby. So that very night, Joseph took Mary and the baby and they left for Egypt. They left for a different country, an entirely different continent. It's down in Africa. Later, after Herod had died, an angel appeared to Joseph again and said, okay, hey Joseph, it's safe. You and Mary and the baby, you can go home now. And they went back to a town where they lived called Nazareth.
That's fun to say, Nazareth.
It is fun to say. Nazareth.
Nazareth.
That's the end of today's story. But I have some questions. What made them come to Bethlehem, those wise men?
The wise men or the Mary and Joseph?
Wise men. What made the wise men come?
They saw the star.
They saw a star in the sky that was different. They must have been studying the stars, huh? Tell me about Herod. What's he afraid of? What's he like? He was the king. Mm-hmm. Would you say he was a kind old king?
No.
No?
He wanted to kill Jesus, so no.
Why did he want to kill Jesus, I wonder? It's a hard question because I didn't say it. You have to think about it a minute. I'll give you a hint. Back in the beginning of the story, we said, the wise men said, hey King Herod, tell me, where is the newborn king of the Jews?
Oh, king.
Mm-hmm. So why might King Herod be upset with King of the Jews, Jesus?
Because he wants to be king of all.
He wants to be king of all. That's right.
He's
Absolutely.
Jealous.
He's jealous. How did Joseph and his family, how did they escape?
An angel.
They went, an angel, yep.
Yeah, an angel came and said it wasn't safe, so they went to Nazareth.
Nope, they did not go to Nazareth. Violet's messing us up. They went down to Egypt, down to Africa. I wonder, did you hear anyone else in today's story who heard important messages from God in a dream? Or any other story, maybe last week's story?
Last week's story, Mary got an angel in her dream, and Joseph had an angel in his dream.
That's right. Now, who had an angel in this one?
The shepherds. Yeah.
No, not the shepherds in this one. There's no angels in the shepherds in this story. What?
I think it was Joseph.
It was
The angel
Joseph.
came to him in a dream.
Right, and said it was not safe. Exactly. Ooh, that must have been scary. What do you think about it?
I mean, if it was me, I would have been scared.
I would have been terrified.
I would have barked.
Good. Now, in today's box, we have a couple of ideas of things that you could do to make this story come alive inside your imagination. One of those things is taking a look at the picture. So there's Mary and the baby and Joseph. And you'll notice she's riding on a donkey. Of course, when they went down to Egypt, there was no train or car or airplane. They had to walk. That would have been a very long trip. I wonder about that. I wonder if you want to draw a picture of that, or maybe find a map or a globe and see where Egypt is. Another activity we have, because the wise men first heard about the King of the Jews by looking at a star, I give you a couple star maps. They look like this. So here's the Big Dipper. Here's the Little Dipper. Lou, will you hold that one for me? Here's Orion. This one's complicated, isn't he? You can trace these with a pencil by following the number. 1, 2, 3, 4. But here's the bigger challenge. On a night when your parents say it's okay, I want you to go outside when it's dark and tell me, can you find those stars in the sky? Can you imagine, out of all the stars in the sky, being able to tell when one new one showed up? That's pretty incredible. And if you're not able to star watch, maybe it's raining, maybe it's cloudy, maybe that's past your bedtime, we also put a maze in there too. Sometimes mazes are just fun to play with, aren't they?
The Wise Men Maze.
That's right.
Am I reading that right?
Yes, you are. So, wasn't that an exciting story? I wonder what's going to happen next. We'll find out in the next edition of the Kids Creek to Go Box series. We miss you. Stay safe. We love you. We miss you. We're praying for you. Bye, friends.
Peace. Don't get corona.